The menopause transition is a critical period of change in bone strength in women, which sets the stage for the development of osteoporosis and fracture susceptibility in older adults. Several prospective cohort studies and the study of women's health across the nation have documented declines in bone mineral density over the menopause transition, establishing a rapid phase of bone loss in a 3-year period around the final menstrual period. It has been suggested that the menopause transition represents a time-limited window of opportunity to intervene to prevent rapid bone loss and microarchitectural damage and to stave off osteoporosis in later years. In a study of 316 women with early menopause and premature ovarian insufficiency, 99% reported having an inadequate intake of calcium. All hormone levels fluctuate throughout the aging process. However, menopause means a drop in the levels of estrogen. Once a woman has come out of her childbearing years, menstruation will stop. This happens roughly at the age of 40 to 55 and is known as menopause. By the time you reach menopause, you will produce around a third of the estrogen produced in your childbearing years. As your endocrine system changes throughout your life cycle, so too must your dietary intake, as evidently seen in the nutrient reference values for females over their lifespan. We have been hired by the University of Wollongong to conduct a systematic review regarding women's health around menopause. Our first step is to develop a research question using PICO. Given the background research, we decided on what's the longitudinal effect of targeting bone loss risk factor and prevention campaigns towards premenopausal women, a systematic review. Once we developed the research question, we needed an eligibility criteria to determine what to include and what to exclude. To ensure we remain ethical, keep transparency, and reduce bias, we must register our review to Prospero, the International Prospective Register of Systematic Reviews. Our methods include the use of medical subject headings to ensure we don't miss out on any studies. We searched on 4 different databases. To apply the eligibility criteria, we will exclude duplicates, sources that aren't peer-reviewed, source studies that are outdated, have missing quantitative data, contain risk factors, prevention theories, has a weak methodology, is irrelevant and/or has limited presentation of their findings. The university is allowed for the recruitment of 2 researchers to analyze the data and discuss any controversies between themselves. Once we have excluded the studies, we need to systematically organize them and then code the quality of the data according to the Working Grade 2004. It's all well and good proposing this systematic review, although we do need a budget to achieve this. But what is included in a budget? We've created a table that lays out the budget as well as added unforeseen costs that may arise. In total, we will just need over $50,700 to conduct the review. This budget will be reviewed when its pilot study expands to a larger campaign. Our Sustainable Development Goal is centered around the environment and climate change effects of agriculture, with total agriculture being the 3rd largest contributor of greenhouse gas emissions nationally and the animal sector making up 90% of this. The Eat Lancet Commission on Food, Planet and Health has proposed the planetary health diet in the fight against global degradation from a growing population. To quote Lancet, without intervention, the world risks failing to meet the UN's Sustainable Development Goals, and thus our consumption of animal products must be reduced. For these reasons, our Sustainable Development Goal will be to include research that explores non-animal sources of dairy. Because this is a systematic review, all of the scientific literature being analysed has already passed through an ethics committee. However, there are still several ethical considerations. Firstly, the research must consider the quality and relevance of the evidence in respect to the review purpose while remaining transparent about the finding. Privacy considerations like ensuring participants who are involved in the initial studies' identities remain anonymous should be taken into account. Finally, initial research questions should also not be changed midway through the systematic review to accommodate the findings. There are several limitations systematic reviews present. There is a reliance on previously published research, and the limitations of the individual study designs may also carry over into the results and the findings of the systematic review. We may also not be able to include an in-depth summary of the analysed articles detailing the settings of the test, study design characteristics, and more. Finally, the quality assessment methods may not be standardized and the operational definitions may be omitted. In conclusion, the findings of this systematic review can be utilized by health professionals in contexts of developing health promotion campaigns, creating government policies, and generating new food products within the food industry that will contribute to reducing the prevalence of osteoporosis amongst menopausal women and encourage actions to be taken against climate change, creating a better world for future generations of women to come.